Hey YouTube, this is Cheese Factory, and this is going to be a video about how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! If you don't necessarily have a lot of money. I know a lot of the time you don't necessarily have a lot of income, or you have other stuff you're working toward, or you're just younger and don't have a job yet or something. So this video is going to be about how to budget deck, which means how to make a deck with a low budget. And it's actually not that hard. When I first started off, I had basically a few Chaos Dragon stuff and BLS, and BLS was the only expensive thing in the whole thing. And actually, it wasn't that bad because I managed to get an IOC original. I don't know if it's first ed, but ultra rare BLS for like $26, and it's worth like $40-$45. So that was pretty awesome. I still have it, by the way. So if anyone has a secret and they want to trade it for like secret rare plus 10-15 cash for BLS, that'd be awesome because I prefer secrets, but IOC is worth a lot, so maybe trade. Anyway, so about budget decking. Basically, structure decks are the way to go. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what this glare. You see, like, the computer reflects on my glasses. Maybe I'll just take them off. Okay, that works, I guess. So budget decking. Structure decks are amazing for this because it gives you a whole deck for like $10. And obviously a structure deck on its own isn't very good because like they only give you one of each copy for usually. There's a couple things where they give you two of each and I don't know why, but it's really good. It's really useful. Structure decks are the way to go. It's ridiculous. And so like when I first started playing, I got 3 Dragons Collide, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, and that was it. And then I started getting like some warnings and torrentials, and I got all these traps, and I got all these other monsters, like MSTs, and then I realized how to play. I mean, I knew how to play, but I was pretty bad at first, so I was putting money on stuff I don't actually run anymore, but it was all part of the learning process, so it was worth it. And you can always just trade later. That's one of the wonderful things about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that if you go to a locals or something, there's always going to be someone who you can trade with, and it's pretty nice. Because if you have something you don't need, and they have something you want, trade. It's great. Trading is one of the most wonderful things about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it means that whatever you have, as long as someone in the world wants it, it's worth it. So, the one thing you have to worry about with structure decks is you have to get multiple because they only come with one copy. So you're probably going to end up with like half of it you never use, but it's okay because the half you use is still much cheaper to get in the structure deck than to get the deck single. And the other thing is you need to be able to use what you're given and use it well. And that's not as easy as it sounds, because if you get Dragon's Collide, there are like 20 cards you won't be using. And you have to understand that that's okay, and that running like 3 copies of the few good cards does make up for that. And it is really good to be able to structure deck and use what you have in it. And the other thing is supporting it. The main thing you need to know is Heavy, Dark Hole, Reborn, and MSTs. If you have those plus a structure deck, you can do anything. I'm going to show you 5 deck profiles within the next few videos of structure decks, budget decks, made from structure decks almost entirely, plus Heavy, Reborn, Dark Hole, and MSTs. It's incredibly efficient. It's like you can... Almost every single deck I'm going to show is $30 or less. And while it's not going to top a YCS, or necessarily do very well at a YCS, it's going to be a good deck, as in, it's going to have good plays, it's going to have plays you can get into. It's not going to be super expensive for it. It's the kind of deck that when you're just playing for fun, it's going to be good enough. And these are going to be the kinds of decks where it's really easy to be like, hey, I want this deck to be better and I'm willing to spend X cash. This is the stuff I can get and it will improve this deck. So I'm also going to be talking about that. So yeah, I think that's it, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing deck profiles. Although the other thing I want to mention is you don't want an old structure deck to a limit. Like the most recent 5 structure decks or something, plus the Fire Kings coming out, are the only 6 I would use. Because older than that, you get into stuff that's just not that good. Structure decks have gotten a lot better over time. Even though some of the older ones you could run decks with, but like some of them are just not good for budget decking. Like Dragoonides, they have a great structure deck, has a ton of stuff that's nice, but doesn't have Phalanx, and Vajrayana costs $1 million, so you're not going to be able to structure deck with that, or to budget deck. So, gotta be careful with stuff like that. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this video and start uploading deck profiles of budget decks you might want to think about being able to run. So that's all, and this is Cheese Factory signing out for now.